achieved.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Studio Day Heffrey. I'll be back on G-Bag Nation today as well on 105.3 The Fan, your home of the Cowboys and the Texas Rangers. Hope everybody enjoyed the 4th. Had a nice weekend there. And here we are. We're back to Studio Day Heffrey, where, of course, we got rumorooskies abound about the Cowboys. And it's been a long time. I shouldn't have left you without a YouTube video to watch, too. Okay, couple things, at least 3 things before the mailbag. And you know the rules. Mash that thumbs up button and leave in the comments what you want to talk about tomorrow. I'll try to take care of you. Now, we got a few things we got to take care of. I think I'm about to be a free mic guy, you know? Just hold it like this. Maybe slide in like Collinsworth. PlayStation controller out of the way here. Let's see. Oh, I can't get far enough out. Hey, guys. Got the latest on the Cowboys for you. Okay, where should we start? Let's start with David Njoku. We're going to talk about Everson Griffen, the former Viking free agent defensive end. Hey, Jerry, go ahead and sign him. Or Clowney, whatever makes you happy. Just sign one of them. That'd be great. Thank you. Michael Gallup and Jamal Adams back in the news. We'll just shoot that down real quick. We don't have to spend a lot of time on that. And David Njoku, Browns tight end who wants a trade. Let me double check on his contract status, but if I'm not mistaken, he's going into his 4th year, and they've already picked up his 5th-year option. But we'll dive through all 3 of those real quick for you, and then maybe take a look at some of the questions from the last video. You know how that works. Leave it in the comments, baby. Whatever you want to talk about. Yes, David Njoku's contract. He is the Browns tight end. He's a heck of an athlete. Still only 24 years old. Been in the league for 3 years. His 2nd year was pretty decent there. In 2018, last year he was hurt. So he's got this year left at $3 million, and then next year at $6 million. And let me tell you why I say no. Just say no to David Njoku. I don't want more tight ends. I definitely don't want more tight ends that cost more money, because if you had David Njoku on the Cowboys, do you know where he plays? Next to me and you, baby. Sitting on the couch. Watching CeeDee Lamb, Michael Gallup, and Amari Cooper tear it up. That's where David Njoku would play. I don't want more 2 tight end sets. Blake Jarwin has already been paid. If you're going to have another tight end, look, Njoku's the type of guy that, you know what? Oh, man, I don't want to wish injury on anybody. Let's say Blake Jarwin were kidnapped, because I don't want to wish injury on him. God, you want to wish a kidnapping on somebody? Let's just say he wasn't available for a while. Then if you wanted to trade a 4th or 5th round pick for David Njoku, have a great time. He's been better athlete than player so far. I think anybody that's campaigning big time to give something up for David Njoku is probably just stuck on what they thought about him before he was drafted. Showed some promise there in 2018, but has never really lived up to the hype of what his athleticism said he might be in the league. So for now, he's going to be stuck on the Browns depth chart, where they signed Austin Hooper, they drafted Harrison Bryant, and they've got Njoku for 2 more years. But no, for the Cowboys, not interested. Cowboys, I'm interested in playing 11 personnel literally every snap. So you'll have 1 tight end, 1 running back, 3 wide receivers, and I don't need another dude getting in the way. And I don't want Blake Jarwin to have a guy that's blocking his progress or taking snaps. Let Jarwin get his shine on. It's the year of the Jarwin. So chill out, okay? David Njoku. Maybe there's somebody who should trade for him. It ain't the Cowboys. Which one did I put second today? Oh, yeah, I saw Connor Rogers' Bleacher Report was throwing back out the idea that, oh, yeah, Michael Gallup and a pick for Jamal Adams. I could see that working. No, and no, and no, and no, and no. And this is why player-for-player trades don't happen. I've already done a video on this, but quick summary. You don't get Jamal Adams. If you're going player-for-player, yes, you'll have to give up a good player for Jamal Adams. And that's why the Cowboys shouldn't make a player-for-player trade for Jamal Adams, because the last thing you would ever want to do if you're the Cowboys, Lyle Collins, get out of here. Stop calling me. Michael Gallup, get out. Stop calling me. Amari Cooper, stop calling me. CeeDee Lamb, stop calling me. Zach Martin, stop calling me. I don't care. Quit. All of those would be awful ideas for the Cowboys. Awful. because the Cowboys' plan, I'm not saying they're going to, their plan is to win the Super Bowl, and if they do, it'll be because they protect their quarterback who throws it to their wide receivers. Anybody who is any part of that equation, I'm not giving up to add a safety to the defense and give a bunch of money to, because I'm busy trying to win the Super Bowl, and if you're going to do it, it's going to be because you block, you protect your quarterback who throws to your wide receivers. Anybody who's part of that equation, you may not call about. Have a great day. I'll see you later. Let's talk about what draft picks you trade for Jamal Adams. The end. Everson Griffen, former Vikings pass rusher. He is actually interesting. I know if you've been watching on here, you've heard me talk about Jadeveon Clowney a lot because I want to add him to the Cowboys because I think having him and Tank, wow, I think having him and Tank is a lot of fun. And I think if you have Clowney and Tank, then Aldon Smith can kind of slow roll into whatever he's going to bring to this team. I don't want to put too much expectation or pressure on a guy who hadn't been in the league in forever. But John Owning does a great job making the case for Everson Griffen in the Dallas Morning News. Owning's my homeboy. Check out his work all the time. He's a beast. He makes a great case. Let me pull up his case. But I know what his case is. His case is cheaper, better sack production, better pressure production, which those are all good things. I'm a big fan of affect the passing game more than the running game. But I also just really enjoy the fact that Jadeveon Clowney wrecks running games all by himself. So 5 years younger than Clowney is Everson Griffen. If you're talking about one-year deals, Everson Griffen as a 32-year-old will likely be cheaper than Jadeveon Clowney. He's less injury-prone than Jadeveon Clowney. Let's see. John Owning says, over their careers, Clowney's averaged 9.42 snaps per pressure. Everson Griffen, 8.7 snaps per pressure. So he gets pressures at a little bit of a higher rate. He does a better job converting his pressures into sacks. And I think that's the difference in the two players. Everson Griffen is a better pass rusher, or a more consistent pass rusher at least. And Jadeveon Clowney's a better run player. So, yeah, if you're talking cheaper, you trust his health more, I'm cool with that. I'm excited about the comp pick I was going to get for Clowney too. But I'll take it. Look, Jerry, if you're listening, I know you're checking out these videos. Jerry's a big-time subscriber. I haven't seen what username he's signed up under. But, yeah, Jerry, go ahead. Griffen, Clowney, doesn't matter to me. Either one. You got $11 million in cap space. If Griffen will take $7 million of that and come play football, let's do it. Make the defensive line a strength. Let's go for it time. And I'm not even go for it guy. But, yeah, you can flip one little switch on a contract. One little tiny flip. Bloop. And suddenly you get a little more cap space. You sign Griffen, sign your draft class, and you go chase the Super Bowl. What do you say? All right. Questions from the peeps. Matthew Barnes, actually, he said, interested in Njoku to the Cowboys. I think him and Jarwin would be good together. No, because I don't want two tight ends on the field, ever. Matthew also wanted to know, he said, I saw an article, so I'll ask you, if we were to get Adams and Clowney, how greatly does that improve our Super Bowl chances? Well, that improves your Super Bowl chances, yes. You'd have to get Adams and not extend his contract yet, get Clowney on the one-year deal, which, hey, that's a doable. It really is. If you wanted to sign Everson Griffen or Jadeveon Clowney and trade for Jamal Adams, you just have to do it with the understanding with Adams, hey, your contract's coming, it's just not yet. Let us get this one-year deal out of the way with this defensive end that we bring in. We'll go try to win the Super Bowl. Then he's off the books, and whatever else we need to do next offseason with the books, and then we'll talk about your deal. Could you do all that? You could. And it ain't my money, and it's not my future dead money if I'm flipping switches on contract. So, yeah, whatever. Jeff, do you think a name changes from Sir? Do you know how a name change would work for Washington? Dan Snyder decide, voted by D.C. residents, other? I mean, ultimately, it's up to Dan Snyder. He owns the team. But it sounds like it's going to happen, which I'm down for. I think that's the thing about the name change stuff. That's the thing. If you're like super anti the name change, I don't know. I don't understand your take, I guess, where it's like, you guys are a bunch of sissies. And I'm like, no, just if there's a bunch of people that tell me that they're offended by a name, then cool, change it. It's like being considerate. Doesn't seem that hard to understand for me, but whatever. Taj Fuller, hey, Jeff, who do you think will emerge as cornerback number 1 for Dallas? You got to hope it's Trayvon Diggs. You hope it's Trayvon Diggs because Cheeto's contract's up after this year. Jordan Lewis's contract is up after this year. Anthony Brown, I think, is not really a high ceiling player where he's not going to be a great player. Lewis is probably the highest ceiling of those guys. But you want it to be Trayvon Diggs because that's the dude who's here long term. So I hope it's Trayvon Diggs. It's hard to call your slot guy cornerback number 1. So could Jordan Lewis be their best corner? Yeah, he could. But most people won't consider that if when the other team goes 2 tight ends and your nickel guy comes off the field, you've only got 2 corners out there, then most people are going to think of one of those guys as number 1. So you hope it's Trayvon Diggs. I think Jordan Lewis could be the best, but I think the safest bet is it'll be Cheeto. That make you confident? Feel good about that? Hey, Jeff, just do Crawford's deal to clear cap room. Stop trying to cut Tyrone Crawford. Solid player. You're almost at the end of the deal. He's about to be off the books. They missed him last year. Tank Lawrence missed Tyrone Crawford last year. Leave him alone. TC said, I'll try one last time. Punter! What about a punter? I know we just score on every drive. We'll never have to punt, but that's not going to happen. Our punter's the worst in the NFL. I hope they bring in somebody to compete, but the story is that Chris Jones was hurt last year and that he'll be back to normal. But they did this with kicker, too, last year, where we're all sitting there at training camp looking at each other like, hey, the kicker's not good. He can't make field goals. And after practice, one of those days, I asked Steven Jones, I think I asked him, I was like, hey, the kicker misses every kick. And he's like, oh, yeah, news to me. I hadn't heard that. I'm like, we're all watching him miss all the kicks. He can't kick. He's bad. And that's where Chris Jones is. Now, if he was hurt and he's going to be fine, cool. But I saw this before with your kicker last year, and I'd rather not do it again. So, yeah, bring in some competition. Thanks. King J, is there a scenario where Clowney and Jamal Adams end up on Dallas in 2020? Yes, you could make the money work for both of them. Of course you could. Yes. Kurt, how was Jarwin in 2018 when Witten was in the booth? Shouldn't that give us an idea of what to expect from him this season? No, because in 2018, the Cowboys didn't give Jarwin a ton of opportunities. I'll have to pull it up real quick, but I believe at the time they were going with Jarwin was splitting time with, was that a little bit of Schultz, and there was Jeff Swaim. I think technically Swaim was the starter. So they were in a weird spot with their tight ends where they didn't really know what they were doing, and Jarwin hadn't really broken out. So, yeah, tight ends, Swaim started the 9 games he played in. Schultz started the other 7. Rico was getting some snaps. They were in a weird tight end spot. Jarwin has no threats anymore. There is nobody taking his snaps. Blake Bell is not taking his snaps. Schultz is not taking his snaps. It's the Blake Jarwin show, as it should be. It's time to let that man get his shine on. He's earned it. He watched an old guy who wasn't good anymore play a bunch of snaps. Let him get his shine on. Sterling says, who is your under the rainbow pot of gold perfect addition to Luka and Porzingis to go get 5 years worth of hardware? A little Maverick question for you. Klay Thompson. Don't ask me how. Just that's the perfect fit. Play great defense. Make it rain, baby. Brandon, Cam Newton gets way too much hype. Career 59.7 completion percentage. 1 season of 40 plus 4,000 yards. 1 season of 30 touchdowns. Okay. To you, Brandon, I say enjoy watching the NFL this year. If you don't think Cam Newton's good when he's healthy, I think you're on crack. So enjoy. Just enjoy. Jeff, you have to demand viewers smash the thumbs up. Oh, I already did that one. I read that one last time. So I think I'm caught up on the things. So everybody, welcome back. Make sure you're subscribed and you get the notifications turned on. YouTube.com/Jeff Kavanaugh. Check out 1053thefan.com where these things will end up. And in the comments, leave what you want to talk about tomorrow. And also your favorite deli meat to put on a sandwich. Mine's salami. Can't really do salami as like the primary, or I think people would look at me funny if I did. But boy, you get a good cut of salami there. That's good. What do you get from the deli? All right, that's it for today. Look forward to seeing you guys on G-Bag Nation. It'll be Brian Broaddus, Chris Arnold, and myself all week this week. So be there. Hang out with us. Toe low. Love you guys. And we'll talk tomorrow. How about that?